Hi, my name is Alizwa Jonas and I'm currently a graphic design intern. It's such an honor and as well as a challenge to be a part of this amazing conversation today and really share a message to my generation. So I'd like to begin by unpacking my interest in the metaverse and as well as my passion in design. When I was in high school, I wanted to go into culinary arts. I selected all the subjects that I needed that were going to help me in my pursuit of culinary school. When I was in my last year of high school, I started a YouTube channel. And on this channel, I posted videos which were titled 30 Seconds of Summer. I posted videos of activities which I was doing during the day, whether it was going for a walk on the beach, seeing a friend, or going for an ice cream. This was when I really discovered my creative side and I wanted to further experiment with it. The following year, I enrolled at Inkscape Education Group, a design and technology institute. I was afforded a partial scholarship to study at the institute, and my first year at Inkscape really opened me up to different specializations in design, such as environmental design, fashion design, and as well as interior design. In my second and in my third year of studies, I chose audiovisual design as my major. This really allowed me to experiment with software such as Autodesk Maya and Adobe Creative Cloud. In my final year at Inkscape, I produced a final project in the form of an integrated campaign. This integrated campaign was titled Restored Campaign. It aimed at reintegrating ex-offenders into society and to educate the greater public about our societal responsibility and the role that we play in the reintegration process. I really enjoyed putting this project together and I decided that I wanted to further my studies. The following year, I decided to further my studies at a leading 4IR university in South Africa, the University of Johannesburg. The University of Johannesburg really opened me up to different discourses such as the African diaspora. I focused my final project on discovering effective communication strategies in socioeconomic media campaigns for people between the ages of 18 and 30 years old. My exposure to design education and as well as being a student in design really developed my passion for design for social impact. How do the products, theories, and concepts we design impact society, drive change in society, and solve the current socioeconomic issues that we are facing as humanity? And I think similarly, my interest in the metaverse lies within the same pillar. How will the emerging African metaverse solve the current socioeconomic issues that we are facing in Africa? An assumption one would make is that as a member of Generational Z, who's been immersed in technological advancements over the years, that I would fully support the idea of the metaverse. But quite honestly, it frightens me. Not only because our generation and the generations to come will be the ones to deal with the consequences of emerging ourselves in virtual worlds, but the idea of the metaverse still feels like a foreign, a dreamlike, and an absurd concept. This is why I believe that it's important as Gen Zs that we take part in these deep and impactful conversations. We observe, we ask questions, and we realize the role that we play in the future of the African metaverse. We can do this by joining online summits such as this one, reaching out to experts in the field, and joining online communities. Now, I'd like to unpack why this idea of the metaverse frightens me. South Africa is a country which is still dealing with and healing with its historical past of racial segregation and racial prejudice. A country where the color of your skin determined the resources and the opportunities available to you, and sometimes still do. This is evident through the exploitation of black workers, the controlling of black settlements, and as well as education restrictions that were passed by the apartheid government. Today, we see restorations of these acts through the broad-based Black Economic Empowerment Act of 2003, also known as BEE. This act focuses on addressing the inequalities of the past through Black empowerment. According to recent data collected by South Africa's data agency, the unemployment rate among Black South Africans was 38.6% in the first quarter of 2022 and 10% among white South Africans. These stats emphasize the heightened and prevalent issues of unemployment among Black South Africans. Unemployment affects many issues such as poverty and social exclusion. This is my fear. My fear is that we build a metaverse where the previously disadvantaged members of the society, the Black child, cannot fully immerse themselves in these virtual worlds. Not only because of the extensive prices of these emerging technologies, but also because of the world's focus features, digital land and digital NFTs. My fear is that we build a money-driven world, one that focuses on social status, and one that will further intensify the current socioeconomic issues that we are facing in Africa. In the same breath, I share my hope. My hope is that we build a purposeful world, a world where exposure and accessibility to minority groups is prioritized and that no one is left behind. This is a metaverse that I fully support, and this is a metaverse that I look forward to. In closing, I would like to leave a few wise words to my fellow Gen Zs, words that were once shared by the late Dr. Nelson Mandela. Overcoming poverty is not a task of charity, it is an act of justice. Like slavery and apartheid, poverty is not natural. It is man-made and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. Sometimes it falls on a generation to be great. You can be that great generation. Let your greatness blossom. Perhaps as young designers, developers, investors, and members of the emerging African metaverse, we need to ask ourselves if this is a burden that we are fully equipped to bear, and if so, how will we bear this burden? Thank you.